We finished restoring your 1974 Nishijin B Pachinko machine, and this quick start guide will show you how to set it up and play. You'll also want to watch the video to show you how to mount your machine into the cabinet. The first thing you'll want to do is to lock your ball drain lever. This metal right here catches with that notch because as you pour balls in, they roll around, they come down this track, and then they roll down this chute, pushing these white arms out of the way. So we need to lock it. We'll just slide it over to the right until it engaged, and now those two white arms are locked. The most common problem with Pachinko machines is the one ball seesaw in the wrong position. So in this clear part here, there is a white piece of plastic right behind my finger, and it has two Pachinko balls in it, and it pivots like a seesaw. Right now it's in the wrong position, it's down. In this position, balls will back up in your machine, you'll never get a jackpot, and you'll have jams. So you want to reset the seesaw. Anytime the machine's not paying out, there is a pin right here. We're going to push up on that pin, and the seesaw is reset. Here is the 24 volt transformer. Your machine has different electronics on it than most Pachinko machines, which usually require a 10 volt or 9 volt transformer. This one requires a 24 volt. So we have an extension cord wired to the transformer. We're just going to plug it into the wall or into a power strip. And whenever your transformer is plugged in, you do not want to touch it, especially don't want to touch these wire contacts. Always unplug your Pachinko machine if you need to work on it and back. When you plug it in, this light up here will come on. You have two light bulbs up here. One of them comes on, and that's to let you know that your top supply tray is low on balls. So as you add balls to the tray, it'll weight this arm down, activating this switch, turning off your light. Here's the light from the front. Also, when you run out of balls, in case you're playing your machine without it being plugged in, you can, if you're flipping the flipper, you got balls here, but they don't fire. It's probably because this sign here is dropped down. It's a little anchor sign, and that has a lever attached to it that blocks the flow of balls from the play tray to your shooter lane. So when you add balls to the tray, the sign lifts out of the way and you can now play. Go ahead and load some balls to the play tray. When we pour the balls in the supply tray, they'll roll down this track, around this turn, across those white levers, and into the jackpot assembly. In the video, we'll talk to you about the bucket you'll be using, but for anyone else watching this, you need to have a bucket down here to catch balls that drop through this chute and through this chute. Now to play Pachinko, you're going to take your index finger, put it against the finger rest bar here, grab the flipper with your thumb, pull all the way down, and quickly let go. And when you do, a ball will launch up your shooter lane here, come around, hit a bumper here, rebound back into the playfield. It'll ping off the nails, the spinners will redirect the ball, and it has various pockets that it can go into. And if it goes into any of these pockets, you get a jackpot. You get a payout of balls. You'll see the light flash, and you'll hear a bell ring as the balls fall down and hit the bell. The first time you shoot, nothing will happen because it's loading a ball into the shooter lane. Now we'll okay, we had one go on this tulip. It was open, so when a ball goes in, it closes. We heard the bell ring and got the payout of balls. We'll play a little bit more. Okay, we got a couple more jackpots. Balls that don't go into any of your pockets, they fall through a hole here into the bucket and back. Now let's take a look at the main attraction. The way the main attraction works is you have to get a ball into either this pocket here or this pocket here, and if you do, this tire will open up. We'll go ahead and drop one in. Okay, now this tire will remain open, and while it's open, balls can come through the side here, enter in, and as they do, you get a normal jackpot payout. Also, this light will move from the S over the 2, 3, 4, and eventually to the G for the goal. It's just kind of a fun thing to do. You don't get anything special. from the machine by getting all the way to the goal. But you could have, house rules where you set up, hey, if anyone ever makes it to the goal, you give them something special. Now the tire is open. However, if you get a ball to go through either one of these two sides, it will close the tire. I'll show you that. Okay. Now if you get one to drop through this center here, it actually does not open the tire, but you do get a jackpot. What it does is it opens up one of the tulips at the very bottom of the machine. We'll drop one on this side over here. So the tire opened, also the tulip at the bottom opened up. Now I'm just going to, as if a ball were to drop in either this side or this side, I'll drop one in the tire. And I'll keep doing it to see the progression of the lights. Okay, we've met our goal. Now the tire will continue to stay open. Until your next ball, and then after that, then it closes. You want a bunch of jackpots, and we may need to refill the supply train back. So what we need to do is get the balls out of here, and there's a blue lever here. We push this over to the left, and the balls should flow down into your receiving tray. You can then scoop them out into a bucket and refill the back. Now sometimes you pull the lever and nothing happens. The weight of the balls can cause them to jam, so you may just have to take your finger and loosen them, or you may also at the same time need to work the flipper to get them to flow. Sometimes you may have something that goes through the play tray into the shooter assembly that other than a Pachinko ball, maybe it's a marble or some carpet fuzz or something. So if you ever need to get inside here to open it up, the first thing you want to do is open the playfield door. Let me show you that. You'll have a hole in the side of your cabinet to do this, but there is a loop right here, and what you're going to do is stick your finger through that hole, lift up on this loop, and when you do, the playfield door is going to pop open. You can swing it open, and now you have access to your play tray door right here. There is a metal latch right here. What you do is you push down on that latch, and as you push down that latch, grab your play tray and swing the door. You can swing the door open. And you'll have wanted to empty all the balls out of the play tray door before you open it, otherwise they'll fall out onto the floor. We still have some balls. This is your shooter assembly here. We still have some balls in there. You can see them. The way this works is as you pull this flipper, you can see back here there is a spring that's on a hammer. That, when it pops back up, is what launches the ball up the shooter lane. But as I pull this down, there's also a piece of plastic back here moving. And as that plastic moves, it pivots down. It's on top of this piece of plastic, this other ball load lever, and it pulls that lever down. And when it does, and it lets go, it pops the ball out and into the shooter lane. I'm going to go ahead and empty all these out. And now we can open up the shooter assembly. There's a couple tabs here. If you just pinch those tabs, then you can swing this open so you can gain access and clean out anything you may need to in here. To close it, you just push it closed. Now when you close the play tray door, a couple things. One, you need to make sure that that little plastic tab goes above this plastic in order for it to work. And there's also a metal here. This is your weight sign that was up front. You can't really see it there, but and this needs to ride on top of this here. So one thing we're going to do as we close the door, if you'll look down and just watch and make sure that this is going above this part when you close the door. And close the door, and as I'm closing it, I'm actually going to push down on this latch to make it easier. I'm also glancing right down in here to make sure that that wire goes on top of the other one. Okay, now we can close the playfield door. You want to pull it over, and then you're going to push it. There's two latches, and you want to push at the top and the bottom until it locks. So take a look at a few jackpots from the back. I'll drop a ball in, and we'll see a couple things happen. The ball will enter the seesaw will pivot down, the ball will then roll down this track here, and as it rolls down that track, there's a metal arm going all the way across here. That arm will pivot down at this pivot point, and what it'll do is it'll push this rod here up. When it pushes that rod up, all this linkage here will pivot, causing an arm in here to release, and then all the balls in here will fall down, and they'll hit a plate here, and then they'll roll across, hit an arm here, which resets your seesaw, goes over to the bell, and then out to your play tray. Now we'll zoom in and take a closer look at that. Drop a ball in. This is the back of one of the tulips, so I'll drop a ball in there. Now if you ever need to change your light bulbs, I'll show you how to get in there to do that. Also, before you lay down your machine and transport your machine, you want to get all the balls out of it. So what you do is you pull down on this lever here. Now all the balls up to this point have rolled out, but we still have some balls in here. So what we'll do is we'll just pivot. You can either grab this arm here, or you could just pivot this plastic part here. Okay, now we have all the balls out of the machine. Okay, before we open the back of the machine, there is a thumb screw here with a plate. We need to take this one off. You just unscrew it. There's also one on the other side. And we'll take both of these off. The reason you're seeing this orange piece here is because someone opened it without taking that off, and it broke the plastic that was there, so we Gorilla Glued a new piece of plastic on for you. Okay, so this metal plate, it has a straight side here and kind of a curved side there. That straight side latches back here behind one of these, and then there's the hole where the thumb screw goes. So it attaches just like that. Same for the other side. I'll take off the other one now. Okay, there is also a thumb screw here. We can loosen it part way and then pull the bolt over to the left to swing this door open. This door swings on a hinge right here. There's a hinge, and there's also a hinge right here. Now when we swing it open, there is a cord, this little white cord here at the top you see, that's attached. So you don't want to swing it all the way open. You're going to have to swing it part way open and then unplug it. So we'll loosen the thumb screw a little bit. And now we can swing it open. There you can see the white cable coming down. It connects right here. We'll just pull it apart. Oh, actually there's a little metal catch here. We'll pull the wire off of that metal catch. Okay, now we have that separated. Now you can swing this all the way open so you can have access to change the light bulbs. You should never need to get in here unless you need to change the light bulbs. I just wanted to show you that. We're going to go ahead and put it back together in reverse. Now we're going to pull it closed. We'll attach it and put the wire down underneath that metal, bend that up. Now when you go to pull this closed, you're going to need to lift from the bottom and lift up on it. And you're going to have to lift it up just a little bit until you can feel that it's closing flush. And once it's closed, then you can grab this bolt and the washer, slide it back over this slot, and then tighten it down. Then we'll take these parts and those thumb screws and put those back in place. Okay, that concludes this quick start guide. We sure hope you enjoy your machine.